Hi, my name is Brad Gollin. I'm the CEO for Gomentr. We're a SaaS application company with a vision to make a difference for an entire generation. Millennials are the largest generation in history, which is working in the most competitive global business environment in history. And we will help them launch their careers by giving them all access to mentors through their colleges and universities. The best place to start helping millennials is when they are students, and their goal at school is to finish and start into their careers. Throughout their education, they've been told that mentors can be the key to fast-tracking their success, and that's what they want. And the research we've seen from all the U.S. schools we've interviewed indicates the largest opportunity for engagement with alumni is networking and mentoring directly with students. So we have students wanting it, alumni wanting to provide it, but the success so far in delivering on this opportunity is dismal. Stanford is the largest program we found with 5,000 alumni in their mentor database, 500 active pairings at any one time, and that represents less than 1% of their potential market for mentoring. This is being supported by 5 full-time people and software they wrote themselves, and yet 99% of their students are doing without any sort of mentoring help. So the problem is how to provide mentoring to the 99% of students not getting it. The huge immediate opportunity is to increase alumni and employer engagement through mentoring, which is a proven way to grow funding for U.S. schools and, based on their own research, the #1 need and demand from alumni. Gomentr has developed a 99% solution, a white-labeled experiential peer mentoring application that connects all students, all alumni, and all employers in the school's own mentoring social network. The value proposition for Gomentr is that the school can increase its alumni and employer engagement through direct mentoring by 10 times by paying a simple, low-cost annual software license that scales based on the active number of users it puts into the system. The biggest question we've had from U.S. schools is, why so cheap? Gomentr's 99% solution is a win for everyone. For the school, who pays the license, it's about generating more funding by getting a lot more engagement. For the student, it's free, and they get help launching their careers by building a business mentor network. For alumni, it's free as well, and it's about loyalty and legacy. It's giving back to the school with their time as opposed to being asked for a check, and being able to have a legacy of making a difference for the next generation. For employers, it's about building their brand and image, being high profile with the school, and having first shot at the best and brightest talent, which they can test out en masse in ways they've never had before. Gomentr has taken a truly innovative approach to this problem. All of its traditional software and solutions are based on serving the alumni and are role-based. So think of it as Match.com. What we've built is really targeted at the millennial customer who socialize and build relationships, or at least start relationships differently. So think of it as a Facebook approach. Nobody has a role or title. Basically, we're all peers, equals in a community. And the way we're going to build relationships is by sharing experiences, solving problems together. And simply solving problems together is how we are going to learn, help each other, and start and build those relationships. So what we've done is we've created a social network, and what's key to social networks functioning effectively, again, that we don't see in other competitor offerings, is a content system. So we've created a content engine that allows everyone to create their own content in the form of requests and resources. So think of it as the opportunity to ask for anything or to be able to share anything that is of value to others. So experientially, what this allows us to do is alumni or employers can actually invite students into, think of it as micro-internships. So they can post requests saying, I'm looking for a student to do some research, write something, prepare something, plan something for me. So they can actually get them involved in doing real, practical, real-world tasks and projects that they can truly learn valuable lessons from. So for me as an alumni, I get useful stuff done. I get help doing things. For the student, they get experience, invaluable experience. And then what can happen as we go through the relationship is they can then package up what they've learned and accomplished, and they can start to create the other type of content, which is resources, and they can show and demonstrate exactly what they've learned and accomplished. First question they get on interviews is, what experience do you have? And now they can show and demonstrate it. Not only that, they can use it to promote, because this content can be posted to LinkedIn and other social networks. So they're actually building a content portfolio for marketing themselves. And they can get many, many different experiences because they can build an entire mentor network. Unlike traditional approaches that match one-to-one, this allows you to build an entire network of business contacts, mentors. And mentoring in our situation really is an experience. It's not a role. It's the interaction, the action of helping each other. That's what mentoring is in our system. And the system tracks all of that, quantifies it. So there's a point system which really kind of gamifies the interactions. So for students, for anybody in the system, in their profile, you can see how networked they are, how much learning they've done, how much mentoring they've done, how much they've contributed to the community. And the school can actually use that to recognize and reward both alumni and employers who are really making a difference for the school. The market for Gomentr is global. We're starting in the US, given the loyalty and the incredible commitment and association with the college and school of alumni. So that's where we're going to be proving up the market and the demand and the application. And then we'll be taking those lessons learned and that proof out to all of the colleges and universities around the world. So it is a global multi-billion-dollar opportunity in terms of the market. And that's just for colleges and universities. Secondary organizations such as not-for-profits and even corporations have the same needs for engaging and supporting and developing millennial employees and members in their organizations. What's really exciting and disruptive about Gomentr is the big data distributed global network opportunity. So we're building a global network in a different way. It's a network of independent but still connected online communities that will share both content and users. When you look at Gomentr, where we've come from and where we're going, so far we've got $750,000 invested in the business. It's allowed us to build a minimum viable product and obtain our first clients. The next phase over the next 12 months is to raise $1 million in order to deliver for those early clients, make them into raving fans, providing all the resources and effort necessary to make that happen. To build our team, to build the executive team into a world-class group that can really truly deliver on this world-class opportunity. And then to scale and redevelop our software in order to even better meet the client needs and to be able to allow it to self-deploy so that we can literally onboard hundreds of schools a month as opposed to dozens, which we'd originally envisioned. So once we've got that proven up over the next 12 months, that will take us to sustainable revenue. And then there's a major financing to really drive this as a global solution around the world. And then ultimately, our goal is to be taken out by a major software partner, because our system really feeds to LinkedIn. It handshakes to other tools. It's a complementary solution offering to a number of other major players in the software business. So where we're at right now is we have 12 pilots ready to launch in the fall. We will be driving those over the next 12 months to develop best practices, figure out and work with their researchers to identify the difference in terms of the millennial solution that we built and how to get the most benefit and develop it so that it really truly serves their needs. We have more interest than we can possibly handle in terms of the application. So everyone's really anxiously awaiting the evidence from the pilots to give them the confidence to be able to sign up, and then the interest is beyond our wildest imaginings. And the software license is very simple. It's a base annual software license plus $1 per user per year for active users. So overall, we're averaging for estimated $50,000 per year per school as they grow and adopt over the first 3 years. The competition for Gomentr really boils down to traditional versus our millennial approach. And when we talk traditional, it is that Match.com type of solution where it is about profile matching, it is about connecting one-on-one relationships. The other aspect that's different about us is this real focus around a content engine to drive the social networking. And when we look at competitive offerings, the offerings that are true SaaSes and go to the university, all of them fall within that traditional role-based Match.com solution offering. And the ones that don't, the more content-oriented ones or the open social network ones, are not truly SaaSes and can't be branded and used by the universities themselves for their own purposes. The last issue is this whole concept of data and metrics around the learning and mentoring. We've got a point system and we've got a patent application around the way we've quantified the socializing, networking, mentoring, and learning. In terms of the team, which is so critical, we've got a very solid startup team. And I've got amazing advisors, including our chairman, Bob Sarter, who was ranked as the 11th top CEO in Canada, Dick Bonnycastle, one of our lead angels, basically a super angel for the Alberta region. And then Wayne Morris, Amar Pandila, Dennis Nerland, Brian Graham, Michael, Dr. Rick McGeer, all really add up into my mentor network. And we're looking for additional talent because based on the work I do with fast growth companies, I know that our success is dependent on getting the best people and building the absolute best team, and that's what we're committed to do. So as the founder and CEO, I'm really passionate and committed to what I'm doing. And you can ask any of our advisors, any of my mentor network. I'm a storyteller and I am really passionate about making a difference for this next generation. I have 4 children who are millennials and I want to help them and their friends. And I want to help the schools where I was able to get my start. So really paying it forward is a vision that I have and that all of us have in the organization. So for me personally, I've had 5 startups of my own. I've had 3 business sales to industry-leading organizations. I'm an executive, an entrepreneur, and I've built and implemented software for my entire career. Every company, every role I've ever had, I've either bought and implemented or built software. So really, I'm a visionary that sees an opportunity and a huge need and want to build a team around me that can share that passion. In order to take us to the next level, ideally what I'm really looking for is a next level of co-founders. People who are smarter than me, people who can tell me where we need to go, particularly in the area of COO and CTO. I've developed role scorecards to outline what those roles entail, but my ideal is active investors, somebody who can bring both financing, resources, and their skill sets to the company to take us to be a global success. In terms of the financials revenue model, as I've said, it's a very simple annual-based software license with a per-user fee. So it's white labeled. It's the school's brand, the school's users, the school's content, their data, and it's sold as an annual recurring license. So for a typical mid-sized school, say 285,000 alum, their target with the schools we talk to is to get their mentoring up to 10%. For employers, 50%. For students, since students are the ones who really want to launch their careers, their target is 50%. So for that type of a client, we're looking at about a $50,000 a year per school revenue model. We forecast out our financials just based on the school market. So based on this, in 3 years at 430 schools, which based on our research to date and our attendance at conferences and industry sector events, is extremely conservative. We could see that potentially after we have evidence from the pilots within a year after the pilots are completed. Our 5-year target, conservatively 1,500 schools, takes us to be, as you can see, approximately $80 to $100 million company in terms of revenue. So we're looking at a very exciting opportunity. When you look at multiples, this is a significant investment return. The deal that we're offering is completing our seed financing. The $1 million investment takes 36% of the company fully diluted, values us currently at $1.8 million. These are 8-cent shares. The minimum unit is $25,000. And to help de-risk the investment, one of the really unique things that we've done is provide investors with a software credit. So they get a software credit equal to their investment, which they can donate to a university, college, not-for-profit for an in-kind tax receipt, which will effectively allow them to write off their entire investment. This really positions us to be profitable and positions us for a major Series A round, which is described earlier in the presentation, to take us for the 24 months after that to our exit. The use of funds is really to do three key things at this phase over the next 12 months. To make our pilots raving fans. And one of the most important things we're going to be doing is at each pilot, we're going to be hiring a grad student to act as a project manager, administrator, social marketer, and as a research assistant to help develop best practices for adoption, use, and to help write a paper on each project. So this will give us proof, and it'll also allow us to identify and determine best practices, which we can roll into all systems. And all of the schools will be developing their own marketing materials, so again, we can get best materials to be able to pool and share. We're focusing on marketing in the U.S. through CASE and other industry organizations. This is the best and easiest market I've ever seen in B2B to be able to get exposure and reach out directly to all of those schools. And then we'll also be rebuilding our software to scale. So really, the demand is so significant and immediate that we need to allow people to self-deploy. So an individual come in 15 minutes, they can actually buy a license, customize it for their own look and feel, and be able to deploy their online mentoring network. So we'll also be building out partner integration for software with CRMs, with Salesforce, with Blackbaud, with Google, with Microsoft and other systems. And part of our rebuild of our back-end system will be funded through government as well. So to recap, Gomentr is really going after the biggest opportunity in education technology software today, which is to provide a mentoring solution that works where dozens have failed. We have built a millennial solution that is different from everything else that's out there. So with the success that this funding will allow us to deliver, and the proven cases that will allow us to capture market quickly in our price point, we look to be a huge growth opportunity. And within the next 3 years, we expect to be able to capture market share and be able to take on and attract a significant global partner that will make this a huge return. So I want to thank you. I'd like to invite you to be a part of our great vision to help every millennial, because every millennial deserves mentors, wants them and needs them to help launch their careers. And you can be a part of making a difference for the next generation. Thank you.